up, everyone? We are here in the Jurassic room, and today we're going to be looking at the best Jurassic Park and Jurassic World Triceratops toys that have ever released. And with this list, I'm going to try not to be biased based on rarity or when they were released. Instead, we're going to look at them based on the quality and just how nice the actual figure is. So with that being said, we're going to look at the top 5 best that have ever released. So let's check out which Triceratops toys are on the list. So coming in at number 5 on the list, we have the Jurassic World Fallen Kingdom Roarivores Triceratops. And while this isn't a crazy special figure, it is the first Triceratops toy that we did get from Mattel with the Fallen Kingdom toy line. And I just think it has a pretty nice sculpt. They reused this sculpt many times as all the toy lines kept going on. But this one is the one that had the most realistic paint job in my opinion. This orangish brownish paint on this Triceratops looks pretty reminiscent to how it did in the movies. Not exactly, but I think it does look pretty nice, as all of you can see. And then when we look at the back of the box, we get another good look at our Triceratops and how you can push the button for sound and head ramming action. Now, I highly doubt the sounds are still going to work. Well, it looks like they work a little bit, but as you can see, you would press this button here and get that head ramming action going. But again, this one made the list just because I think it is a pretty good sculpt. Probably one of the best sculpts that Mattel has done on the Triceratops, and it is definitely the most realistic paint job that has come with this Triceratops toy, so that's why it was the first one to make the list. Now, the next Triceratops that we have on the list is the Jurassic Park 3 Electronic React Attack Triceratops, as all of you can see, and this figure honestly looks really cool. I love the sculpt on it. I love the little bit of like an action, like dynamic pose that it has. I think that is pretty sweet, and I also just really love the colorations on this figure. I love how the brown fades into some darker brown, into some gray on the top, and I even love the little bit of white spots here. I just think that the paint job and the sculpt on this one looks really cool in my opinion. And then when we look at the back of the box, we get another good look at our React Attack Triceratops actually attacking a Dilophosaurus. Now, what doesn't make this Triceratops higher up on the list, and something that I should have said about the Mattel Triceratops we looked at earlier, is the scale of it. So it is just too small to go in scale with the other dinosaurs and figures that come with the toy lines. It should be much bigger to be a full Triceratops, but it would have made it higher up on the list if it wasn't, but that's the reason it's not. But again, I do really like the sculpt on this one, and it would normally have sound effects that you could click right here, and you'd be able to pull its leg back to get its head going, which is also really cool. But this one is also a special nostalgic one to me from my childhood. I tried not to let that be a factor when I put it on the list, but again, this Jurassic Park 3 Triceratops is pretty sweet, and that's why it even made this list. And now the next Triceratops to make it on the list is the Hammond Collection Triceratops from Jurassic Park. And as all of you can see, this is such a gorgeous figure. We've got such amazing detail on it. Of course, really good articulation since it is Hammond Collection. And overall, the sculpt is just really nice on this Triceratops. So I'm really digging it. Look at that awesome render of it on the side. Now, when we look at the back of the box, we get another really good look at our Hammond Collection Triceratops, which as a collector toy, this is probably as good as it gets for the Triceratops because it has an amazing paint job, amazing articulation, and the whole Hammond Collection toy line is just built around collectors, which does make this really cool. And again, the reason that this Triceratops right here didn't make it to the first or second spot on the list is simply because of the scale. Once again, this Triceratops is just too small to scale up with the human figures and the other dinosaurs in the same scale line. So unfortunately, even though this Triceratops looks top notch and maybe is the best looking Triceratops toy we ever got in terms of articulation, paint job, and sculpt, it's unfortunately again too small. But again, still big kudos to this figure because it is really nice, and that's why it's still pretty high up on this list. Now coming in at the number 2 spot, we have the original Jurassic Park Series 1 Triceratops, and there are so many reasons that I absolutely adore this figure. For one, this Triceratops is finally the correct scale. This thing is huge and can scale up pretty well with the other dinosaurs and humans and makes it a lot more like a Triceratops toy should be, so I really appreciate that. Other things that I really love about this figure is the soft, real feel skin, which is awesome. I think everyone that is a fan of the old Kenner Jurassic Park toys can really appreciate about this figure and all of the other Kenner toys. Now when we look at the back of the box, we get another good look at our Triceratops in a little bit of an action scene with some advertisements for the other original Jurassic Park toys. But again, this figure is so nostalgic and so awesome, and if it did come down to me using nostalgia as a factor, I probably would have put this as the number 1 Triceratops toy ever made. But since I wasn't being biased, I did not do that, just simply because the sculpt is not quite as realistic as the Triceratops toy that I have picked out for number 1. But again, I love the real feel skin. I love that this thing is actually in scale with how a Triceratops should be. So those are the reasons why this is the number 2 Triceratops toy that has ever been made. And finally, coming in at number 1 on the list, we have the Jurassic World Dino Trackers Habitat Defender Triceratops. And this is such a beastly and awesome figure, as all of you can see. Honestly, the number 1 thing, like I was telling all of you, it is bigger and it is in scale with all the rest of the toys. This is how a Triceratops should be right here. It is very similar in size to the Series 1 Jurassic Park Triceratops that we just looked at, except for this one has a much more realistic sculpt, as all of you can see, and it's got a very realistic paint job as well. This has just got to be the ultimate Jurassic Park or Jurassic World Triceratops toy that has ever released. Now when we look at the back of the box, we get another good look at our Habitat Defender Triceratops and how it's actually made of 60% recycled plastic. So when they call it the Habitat Defender Triceratops, it's actually you helping the world a little bit by purchasing one of these, which is really cool. And as a little bit of a bonus on this one, there is a variant to this figure. So if you look right here at the crest, you can see how this is a dark brown paint job, whereas I have another one right here where it is a brownish red paint job. So there is actually a variant to this toy as well for any of you that are hardcore collectors like me and like to have every little nitpick thing about Jurassic Park and Jurassic World when it comes to the toys. But again, guys, this is the ultimate Triceratops toy that's ever been made by Jurassic Park or Jurassic World right here. It's got the perfect scale size, it's got amazing details, and it's got a gorgeous paint job. I personally think that all of these toys are amazing, and there's a bunch of amazing ones that also didn't make this list, but I'm curious as to what all of you think. Do you agree with my picks? Let me know down in the comments below. Want to see more awesome Jurassic content? Then hit that subscribe button and turn on post notifications so that you don't miss any of my content. Also, check me out on Instagram and join my Discord server for so much more Jurassic fun. The links to everything will be in the description below. Check out more awesome Jurassic videos here.